Caitlin Clark has made history again, and this time she's leaving everyone speechless. 13 assists for the third game in a row. That's right. The Fever rookie is playing basketball from another planet. But hold on. Not everything is perfect in this garden. The Fever almost blew a 31-point lead. Imagine this. Clark punching the bench in frustration during a timeout as the Mercury got dangerously close. And Diana was there to see it all. Subscribe to the channel and stick with me because we have a lot to talk about regarding Clark, Christie sides, and the future of this team. Alright, let's get straight to the point. Caitlin Clark is playing on another level, folks. 5th consecutive double-double, 20 points and 13 assists. It's her third game in a row with 13 assists. That's veteran-level performance, not rookie. But the most impressive part was how she started the game. 7 assists in just the first quarter. That's a record in Fever history. Clark was totally in sync with Kelsey Mitchell, who kept cutting and receiving precise passes from the rookie. And it didn't stop there. Clark opened the game with a three-pointer. She was more dynamic, more accurate. It seemed like she was directing a show, not just participating in it. Coach Christie Sides even commented that Clark made passes she didn't know were possible. But we need to talk about whether the Fever coaching staff is keeping up with Clark's pace, because this game showed two very different sides of the team. And this is where things get complicated. This game against the Mercury was a roller coaster. No exaggeration. In the first half, the Fever looked unbeatable. They opened a 31-point lead. 31, folks! With 2 minutes left in the third quarter, everyone thought the game was won. But then came the second half, especially the last quarter. The Mercury went on a 31-4 run. That's right, they almost erased the entire lead. With 3 minutes on the clock, the lead had shrunk to just 4 points. Can you believe it? It was at that moment that we saw Clark's competitive side. During a timeout, she got so frustrated she punched the bench. You could see in her eyes how upset she was with the situation. The Fever managed to hold on in the end, closing the game at 95-86. But this scare raised many questions. How can a team be so dominant one moment and so fragile the next? And the Mercury was shorthanded, with 2 starters injured and losing another in the middle of the game. This inconsistency is worrying, especially if the Fever wants to make the playoffs. And we have to ask, is the problem just with the players, or does the coaching staff share the blame? That's why we need to talk about Christie sides. Fever fans are being tough on her, and it's understandable. Many are calling for her dismissal, and you can see why. The team's instability is glaring. How can you have an elite first half and a second half that almost throws everything away? This can't happen, especially if the Fever makes the playoffs. The team is now 10-14. They've won 7 of their last 11 games, which is an improvement. But is that enough to keep sides in her position? The big question is, does the Fever need to make changes now? Because if they make the playoffs playing like this, they could suffer a lot. And we have to think about how this impacts Caitlin Clark. Imagine this. Clark is playing at an MVP level, breaking records, but the team can't stay competitive. This could affect her chances of winning Rookie of the Year. The Olympic break is coming. Will we see some drastic changes when the season resumes? Because as it stands, it's tough for the Fever to have bigger ambitions, even with a star like Clark on the team. But it's not all criticism, folks. We need to talk about the records Caitlin is breaking because it's impressive. In this game against the Mercury, she set a new record for assists in a quarter in Fever's history. 7 assists in just the first quarter. This shows how much she's evolving as a point guard and team leader. And there's more. This was Clark's 5th consecutive double-double. She's on an incredible streak, showing consistency in scoring and assists. In the last 7 games, she's averaging 18.3 points and 11.7 assists. These are veteran numbers, not rookie. Now imagine this scene. Clark doing all this with Diana watching from the stands. The Mercury legend, one of the greatest players of all time, witnessing the birth of a new star. Can you imagine what was going through Taurasi's mind watching Clark dominate like that? It's like a passing of the torch, you know? Taurasi seeing the future of the WNBA up close. And this only increases Clark's responsibility. She's not just playing to win, she's playing to make history. But then we come back to the team issue. Clark is shining individually, but the Fever needs to keep up. Because at the end of the day, basketball is a team sport. And no matter how incredible Clark is, she needs a strong team around her to really make a difference. And here we reach the crucial point. How can all this affect Clark's chances for Rookie of the Year? Because, let's be honest, she's playing at an absurd level. The numbers don't lie. consecutive double-doubles, assist records, impressive averages. Clark is undoubtedly deserving. But we know that in basketball, especially when it comes to individual awards, team performance also counts. And that's where the danger lies. If the Fever continues this roller coaster of highs and lows, if they can't stay competitive, it could reflect on Clark. Imagine this. What if the Fever doesn't make the playoffs? Or worse, what if they make it but are quickly eliminated because of this inconsistency? This could tarnish the incredible season Clark is having. The Rookie of the Year competition is fierce. There's Angel Reese with her impressive streak of 14 consecutive double-doubles. That's an all-time record in the league. Clark and Reese are the only rookies voted as All-Stars this year, showing the level of competition. The Fever needs to fix this instability, and fast, not just for the playoff chances, but also to ensure Clark's individual brilliance isn't overshadowed by collective problems. Because it would be a shame to see such a spectacular rookie season go unrecognized due to factors beyond her control. The question remains, what will the Fever do moving forward? The decisions of the management and coaching staff in the coming weeks could be crucial, not just for the team's future, but also for Clark's career. There's a lot of pressure, but that's how legends are born, isn't it? What do you think will happen next? The Olympic break is coming, and this might be the perfect time for the Fever to make some drastic changes. Will we see a new coaching staff when the season resumes, or maybe some roster changes to provide more support for Clark? Christie's future as a coach is on the line. Fans are calling for changes, and management may not have a choice if they want to save the season. But what if they change the coach? How will that affect the team dynamics and Clark's performance? And there's more. The playoffs are approaching. The Fever is in a delicate position, needing every win. Will they manage to maintain the necessary consistency to secure a spot? Or will we see more games like this one against the Mercury, with heart-stopping ups and downs? Everything is at stake now. Clark's development, the Fever's playoff chances, the future of the coaching staff. Every game from here on out will be crucial. The pressure is only increasing, and we're here to cover every moment of this roller coaster. Leave a comment on what you think about the Fever's future and Clark's chances for Rookie of the Year. Your opinion is super important to us. And if you enjoyed this analysis and want to stay on top of everything happening in the WNBA, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. That way, you won't miss any updates. Give this video a like if you want more content like this. The more likes, the more we know we're on the right track. The season is heating up, the playoffs are coming, and we'll be here covering everything for you. See you next time.